Shalom, and welcome back to B'nai Noach Academy, Thoughts on the Torah. Please remember to hit the like button and to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this wisdom and inspiration with friends and family. When you look in the book of Leviticus, chapter 1, verse 17, at the very end of the chapter, after describing the sliding scale of the offerings, beginning with the rich person and going all the way down to the poor person who can only afford two little birds, which, when you think about it, not only pale in comparison to the size of the offering of the rich person, but if you have an idea, if you can use your imagination, the enormity of the size of the altar in the Holy Temple, even in the tabernacle, this little tiny bird was so insignificant, it almost was invisible, if I may. And here, the Torah instructs, and it says as follows: the priest shall tear it open by its wings, this is after slaughtering it, without severing it, and turn it into smoke on the altar upon the wood that is on the fire. Now, there is no mention here, as there is when it comes to the other offerings, the animal offerings, of skinning it. Is this by accident or is this intentional? Well, the sages tell us in the Midrash, and even the commentary Rashi quotes it here, that indeed this offering, as it was ripped off open, these birds, they were offered together with the feathers. They were offered together with the skin and the feathers. And Rashi comments, quoting the Medrash, there isn't any person who can withstand that disgusting smell of feathers burning. I'm sure if you ever smelled it, you can imagine if you ever smelled nails or hair burning, feathers, the smell is so obnoxious. And the question is, why would God have this? Why would God instruct us to put it on the altar in such a manner which later perhaps may cause a displeasing smell, a dissatisfying odor? And the answer is, like I mentioned, this offering is so small, is so tiny. God is teaching us how to be sensitive. If we were to take off the feathers, when you look at a live bird, the feathers make it look double the actual size. When you look at a live bird and you take off, after it's slaughtered, you take off the feathers and the skin, or you get to the skin, it suddenly loses half its mass. So imagine putting these two little tiny birds, now just the flesh and the bones of the birds, the wings and the bones, onto the altar. It would now become diminished in size. It would look even smaller, causing this poor person such great grief, noticing that his sacrifice almost doesn't seem to exist on the altar, doesn't even seem to take up place. So God tells us, put it there. It's okay. It may generate a displeasing smell, but the appearance of it, the imagery will be, this person will feel good. He will feel like he had now an opportunity to offer something of value, something of substance to God. And this teaches us a great lesson in sensitivity. Sometimes we can notice somebody doing something, trying to do the right thing, making their effort to the best of their ability, a genuine effort, not a fake one, a genuine effort to serve God, to be kind, to do good for others. But obviously their best is not anything at all in comparison to somebody who really knows what they're doing, or somebody who's really trained or has the experience. And typical of most human beings, there is part of us that wants to just mock the person and try to just kind of tell them, just go away. Just, you're not really contributing anything. There isn't really much that anyone is gaining from your quote unquote effort, from your contribution. But God tells us otherwise. God tells us when you see somebody trying their best, make it important. Give them a sense of, wow, this is a contribution. This is special. This is meaningful. And guess what? If it could be meaningful to God, if it's special to God, that God says, I invite those smelly feathers burning on my altar, then certainly we can find it in ourselves to do the same.